guys, welcome to the first episode of What the Hell? What the hell? What the hell? In this week's news, I was reading a story and saw some videos on YouTube too in response to this story about a 15-year-old girl in Chicago who had been gang raped by four teenage boys, I believe. I know the first two who were arrested were both 14. Arrested for gang raping this girl, and when they gang raped this child, they did it on Facebook Live. So of course the police, thankfully, in Chicago are being very aggressive about this case. They've even moved the family to a safe location because people were bullying the family and riding by the house, and just, this world is crazy. So what the hell, okay? What the hell? And hell needs to be placed with what the F, all right? I'm gonna use an F because I'm just gonna stick with F for now, but let me just tell you, if you're new to this channel, because I'm new to this channel, there will be some cussing. But I don't want it to be gratuitous cussing, but there will be some cussing, okay? But anyway, the boys who taped this on Facebook Live, and a lot of the sentiment that I read along with this story by some of the people who were just commenting on it, they were very outdone by the idea that these kids would be so stupid to do this on Facebook Live. And some even made comments like, if you're gonna do something stupid like this, don't do it and post it on social media. I think that is the totally wrong message to communicate on any platform. I would encourage these idiots to keep filming yourself, keep posting it on social media so that arrests can be made. But the most disgusting thing about this case, the rape, of course, is horrendous and disgusting. The four boys who did this, of course, they are disgusting. And just as disgusting, perhaps, is that there were 40 people who were watching this on Facebook Live, and not one bothered to call the police. Not one. So from what I understand, one of the girl's uncles ended up, I guess, either seeing this Facebook Live post, and he ended up calling the police, from what I understand. But there were 40 people tuned in to this girl literally being gang raped, and nobody called the police. Now, we all know how Facebook Live works, right? For the most part, when you see a live video, it's somebody that you're either friends with, somebody you're connected to somehow. I'm not watching random videos by strangers, okay? But nobody called the police. And I say that to say, it's probably out of those 40 people, some of those 40 people knew who these kids were who were doing this. And also, even if you did not know, you still should have called the police and let them know that something like this is going on. So my what the hell is about this whole entire case, and especially about the 40 people who just sat there and watched and did nothing. This society is screwed up, and if we don't change how we react, I don't even know where we're going. Where are we going with this? Because the bottom line of it is, yes, okay, yes, the case is horrific, and they thankfully seem to be handling it correctly as far as law enforcement is concerned. But those 40 degenerates who sat there and watched this child be gang raped and not lift a finger to call the police, what the hell is really going on? Also on the what the hell roll call this week, we have Kendall Jenner and Pepsi. So Pepsi thought it would be a good idea to do a commercial that mimicked a riot, protest, and Kendall Jenner, comes down and she's high-fiving people, and everybody's seemingly happy, and the police are all there in riot gear, whatever, and she gives a person, the police officer, a Pepsi, and they're happy now, and all is well with the world. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, first of all, I am so sick of people disrespecting us, disrespecting my culture, disrespecting my people's legacy, my people's history, my people's plight, my people's fight. I am so sick of people being disrespectful towards us. You better believe there is absolutely no way a major corporation like Pepsi would have ever done a video that mimicked a Holocaust situation where somehow in the end of the commercial, probably with the setting of a gas chamber, everything was all fine and dandy when Kendall Jenner, who played a part of a Jewish person who somehow found a Pepsi, gave it to the concentration camp guard, and then all of a sudden everything was fine. No more genocide, no more Holocaust. We're all good now. That shit would never happen. So I am very sick of these corporations disrespecting our community as if they are fucking clueless. Okay? Because you just can't be that clueless. Somebody had to green light this. Somebody at the company, this went through a process. You know, nobody flipped the switch on the script for this commercial. The whole premise of what the commercial was going to be about. The hiring of Kendall Jenner to even do this part in the commercial. That was a process. You know, that had to take months to even pull all of that together. And so I asked this company, who apparently realized, oh, sorry, my bad, because they've now pulled the ad. You major companies, you need to start making sure that you are hiring socially conscious executives to sign off on decisions that are being made in your companies. And I say that socially conscious employees, and I am not specifying the color of the employee, because many of us probably work in situations or over our work life. We all know that just because you're in my uniform doesn't mean you necessarily get it. Okay, because you might be one of those who, you know, as long as you're in the club, you're not trying to make any waves. So you may be in the room where these decisions are being made, but from a socially conscious perspective, there's still nobody in the room on our behalf, right? So that's why I say these major companies, to make a big dumb decision like that, a disrespectful, just unthinkable decision like that, you need to start making sure that you are hiring socially conscious execs before you put out your marketing and promotional type ads, because you're missing the mark. I mean, Kendall Jenner, I'm so sick of the Kardashians, all of them, the Kardashians, the Jenners, Caitlyn, all of them are just appropriating cultures and doing a whole lot of stuff to make money. They don't relate to the real deal, the real struggle of minorities. They do not relate to the real struggle, speaking on behalf of people who have spoken out for the transgender community, who are very upset with Caitlyn Jenner and this whole notion that she's somehow a spokesperson. How did that happen? Okay, who's also a friend of Donald Trump. I mean, give me a break on that one. But it's just ridiculous that a major company like Pepsi would do this. So now what do we do? You know, I'm hoping a lot of us are not even drinking Pepsi anymore. I don't even know if Pepsi is as big of a deal as they used to be. I'm not sure. Okay, I know when I was younger, Pepsi was the thing. But I'm not really sure people even drink Pepsi like that anymore. But if any of us are drinking Pepsi like that anymore, I suggest we leave it alone. We probably need to do that anyway for health reasons, but damn it, you got extra motivation today. You got extra motivation today to let Pepsi go. And last but not least, my first what the hell video cannot end without something related to Donald Trump. So there's a lot of stories in the news right now. You know, there were a tremendous amount when everything was going on with the Republicans' attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act that failed. There were a lot of stories in the news about, you know, the people at the town hall meetings who were like going off, who were like, you just can't do this. My family needs this health insurance. I'm going to die. My family member might die. We need this. People protesting, just not in agreement with the direction that the Republican Party was going with repealing Obamacare. And so, this wasn't new. The Republicans campaigned on this for forever. I mean, ever since President Obama even put forth the whole notion of the Affordable Care Act. They've been protesting it. So, you know, when you voted Republican, you know, you knew this is what you were signing up for. So, of course, now there are stories in the news. People are visiting hospitals, visiting people who are also, like, you know, afraid now that the Meals on Wheels program might actually be defunded, and they depend on that, and they voted for Trump, and they just don't understand. Their house is somehow now on the land that is needed to build this ridiculous wall. Meanwhile, people in Flint, Michigan might have clean water. I think they said it's projected to have clean water maybe in the next, 5 to 10 years? That's essential to life. But we're going to focus on this wall over here. Okay, so the people who voted for Trump, you know, some of those people out there, their land, their property now, you know, is at risk of being taken, eminent domain, because the government needs that land now to build this wall. So for all of those people and all of the suffering that's going to happen, if Donald Trump and this Republican Party, if they're successful with pushing forward a lot of the legislation they want to push forward, roll back the legislation they want to just, you know, enforce as it relates to the environment, on that I give you a big what the hell? What the hell did you think would happen? You guys voted against your own best interest, and now you are going to suffer. So whenever that thing in you allowed you to vote for Donald Trump, the most vile, despicable person ever, who made no hedges about showing you that he was just that, you still voted for this man. And a tremendous amount of it had to do with bigotry. A tremendous amount of the people that he got out to vote for him, people who didn't ordinarily vote, these people who are going to be impacted by these policies, you know, people in West Virginia and pretty much all the southern states, and, you know, who voted for Donald Trump, they supported Donald Trump, you know, with the whole notion that somehow he was going to straighten out America and make America great again. And your whole notion with that idea that you embraced as, you know, being American, is that it was going to hurt those people. You know, those people over there, those people that you don't really consider really even people on your level. Yeah. So, but surprise, because y'all in for it now. So you know what I say to all of that? Don't care. Not trying to take the high road on this one, people. You need to suffer. There needs to be a consequence to this country for electing Donald Trump. There needs to be a consequence. There needs to be a consequence so significant that no one will be able to easily elect a degenerate like this man again in the future. You're going to have to think a little harder. You're going to have to, you know, make some decisions that are not based on racist ideas, sexist ideas. You're going to have to think a little harder. And for me, I want to be clear on this. Of course, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. But this isn't even about him being a Republican, although this particular Republican Party right now, they pretty much suck. Okay, there are a few you can pull out, and I'm talking about maybe 3. But this is about, there should be certain things that is just unacceptable. It's a deal breaker regardless of party. Okay, but this man won. He is the president of the United States. Even if he won with the help of Putin, he still won. So for all of you folks out there who voted for Donald Trump and now you are having a damn fit because you don't know how you're going to make it, what's going to happen, because your chickens are coming home to roost, all I have to say to you is suffer on, my sweet child. And the next time you go to the election booth, don't vote against your own interests. Okay? And that's it for this week's episode of What the Hell? Okay? I'd like to end on a good note. The only thing I can think of right now off the top of my head that's a really good thing is that we don't have to worry about Tony Romo anymore playing football in the NFL. Till the next time, bye.